Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a book that, quite frankly, changed the game for a lot of people when it comes to personal finance. Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh great, another finance book, hear me out. Ramit's approach is different. It's less about cutting out your daily latte and more about building a conscious, automated system for your money that lets you live a rich life, whatever that means to you. He's not about deprivation. He's about intentional spending and investing. And honestly, it's a breath of fresh air. This isn't just about saving money, it's about making your money work for you. I'm going to break down the core principles of this book, distill its most actionable advice, and hopefully give you some serious tools to start optimizing your own financial life. So let's jump right in with Ramit's first big idea, getting started even if it's messy. Ramit emphasizes that the biggest hurdle for most people isn't complex jargon, it's simply taking action. We often get caught up in analysis paralysis, waiting for the perfect moment. But as he brilliantly puts it, action beats inaction. You don't need to be an expert to start. You just need to start. This means opening that investment account or setting up that high-interest savings account. The specifics of where or how much are less important in the very beginning than simply doing something. Think of it like a marathon. You start with a walk, then a jog, then gradually increase your distance. Your financial journey is no different. Just get in the game. Once you've taken that initial action, the next step in Ramit's philosophy is mastering your credit cards. And yes, he advocates using them, but responsibly. Ramit views credit cards as a tool to build an essential financial asset, your credit score, while also getting free money through rewards. The key, however, is to pay off the entire balance every single month. If you are currently in debt, this is where the conscious spending part comes in. Ramit says debt repayment is your #1 financial priority. He'd have you ruthlessly focus on paying off the highest interest debt first, usually credit cards, using the debt avalanche method. But the moment your debt is conquered, Ramit wants you to take control by automating everything. This is the core of the book and the true path to a rich life. The idea is to set up a conscious spending plan and make your money disappear into different buckets the moment your paycheck hits. You pay yourself first, you pay your investments next, and your expenses last. This automation is your personal financial kill switch. It eliminates human error, willpower fatigue, and excuses. You don't have to decide to save or invest. The decision is made for you every month without fail. Ramit argues that by automating the big stuff, savings and investments, you are then completely free to spend the rest of your money, guilt-free, on the things you truly love. No more fussing over $3 lattes if the big numbers are taken care of. After automation is in place, we address where your money actually sits. Ramit is emphatic in one thing. Never leave your cash in a low-interest checking or savings account at a big traditional bank. He insists you use a high-interest savings account, or HISA, usually found at online-only banks. This isn't complex investing, this is simply getting the maximum possible return on the cash you need to keep liquid for emergencies or short-term goals. Once your cash is optimized, it's time to talk about the most important wealth-building tool, investing. Ramit simplifies this to the maximum extent. You don't need to pick individual stocks. You need to use diversification and compound interest. Specifically, he champions low-cost diversified index funds. These are baskets of stocks that track an entire market, like the S&P 500. They're simple, proven, and nearly always outperform stock pickers in the long run. Ramit urges you to start with simple, target-date retirement funds, especially through a tax-advantaged account like a 401k or a Roth IRA. These funds automatically rebalance your risk over time, doing the work for you. The main takeaway here is to set it and forget it. Automate your contributions, invest in diversified index funds, and let the magic of compound interest and time do the heavy lifting. Don't check it daily, don't panic during dips. Now that your investments are on autopilot, Ramit shifts focus to what he calls the big wins. These are the things that impact your money far more than skipping a few coffees. Salary, housing, and big recurring fees. The biggest lever you have is your income. Ramit dedicates significant time to teaching you how to negotiate your salary, freelance rate, or even your next job offer. A single successful negotiation can put tens of thousands of dollars into your investments over a lifetime. Secondly, tackle your recurring fees, things like cable bills, cell phone plans, and banking fees. He encourages spending a focused power hour to call and negotiate these down or switch providers entirely. This is low effort, high return. Once all these systems are running, you finally get to the fun part, defining your rich life and building your conscious spending plan. Ramit's philosophy is that you can spend lavishly on the things you love, provided you cut costs ruthlessly on the things you don't. This plan requires you to consciously decide your percentages. How much goes to fixed costs? How much to debt? How much to savings and investments? And crucially, how much is your guilt-free spending money? The guilt-free spending money is where you spend without tracking it. If you love travel, put a high percentage here. If you don't care about clothes, allocate next to nothing. This plan is personal, not prescriptive. It's what allows you to spend on your values and still know that your future is secure. So, you've set up your system. You've automated your savings and investments. You're using credit cards responsibly, and you've optimized your big fees. Now comes the easy part, maintenance. Ramit advises conducting a quick annual check-in. This isn't daily checking, it's a yearly financial audit. You check your allocations, ensure you're getting the best interest rate on your savings, and renegotiate any creeping fees. That's it. For the other 365 days, your system is on autopilot, allowing you to focus on earning more and living your rich life. The power of this book lies in its practicality and its permission to stop obsessing over tiny cuts. Because ultimately, that's the final, most profound lesson from I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Financial success isn't about arbitrary rules. It's about intentionally designing a system that supports your values. It's about being conscious about where your money goes so you can be unconscious about the day-to-day spending on the things that bring you joy. This is the core strategy for building exponential wealth. If you're saving 10% of a $50,000 salary, that's $5,000. If you get a raise to $80,000, that 10% suddenly becomes $8,000, and you've still increased your lifestyle. Ramit provides a tactical playbook for maximizing your career. It starts with recognizing your value. Many people simply accept the first offer or the standard annual increase, leaving massive amounts of money on the table over the course of their career. The first step is to master the concept of the briefcase technique. This isn't just asking for a raise, it's presenting a well-researched physical case, a briefcase, that outlines the value you've delivered to the company, quantified in dollars and cents. You don't ask, "Can I have a raise?" You present, "Last quarter, I streamlined the X process, saving the company $15,000. My market value for this level of contribution is Y dollars. I'd like to adjust my salary accordingly." It reframes the conversation from need to value. This principle applies just as much to side hustles or starting your own business. Identify an in-demand skill, solve a painful problem for a niche audience, and then charge premium prices. Don't be afraid to be the best and charge like it. Earning more fundamentally changes your ability to save and invest. A 1% difference in your investment return might be a few $1,000s over time, but a 20% increase in your salary is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Focus your energy where the impact is greatest. Ramit's work isn't just financial mechanics, it's behavioral psychology. He tackles our biggest enemy, ourselves. We get intimidated by the complexity of investing and then make emotional, panicked decisions when the market dips. The solution, once again, is automation and the set-it-and-forget-it mentality. Because your investments are automatically going into low-cost index funds every single month, you remove emotion from the equation entirely. He also talks extensively about embracing the rich life vision. What is it that you truly want to spend money on? For one person, it might be first-class air travel. For another, it might be paying for a personal trainer or private music lessons. Ramit demands you identify these things and allocate money for them deliberately and without regret. This is your personal financial reward system. It's the engine that powers the discipline required for automation and budgeting. Crucially, the rich life evolves. The vision you have in your 20s will be different from the one in your 40s. The system you set up today is flexible. The key is returning to it annually to check in and adjust your conscious spending percentages. Now, let's look at the nuts and bolts of that conscious spending plan in practice, especially when it comes to cutting low-value costs. Ramit is very clear. When you allocate money toward your rich life goals, that money has to come from somewhere else. This is where the ruthless cutting comes in, but only on the things you don't care about. If you never read the paper, cancel the subscription. If you hate cooking, don't buy kitchen gadgets. If you live in a city, ditch the expensive car payment. The goal isn't just to save the money. The goal is to reallocate that money to your automated savings, your investments, or your guilt-free spending budget for the things you do care about. Every dollar has a purpose and a destination. Think of it as a game. Find the forgotten, low-value cash leaks, plug them up, and then use that freed-up money to accelerate a high-value goal, like paying for a dream vacation or maxing out your Roth IRA. Ramit argues that by focusing on these high-impact reallocations, you avoid the daily mental exhaustion of penny pinching. You solve the problem once, automate the change, and then never think about that low-value cost again. This constant focus on efficiency and intentionality is what makes the system resilient. It's not a budget of fear. It's a strategy for conscious control and freedom. So, to bring it all back to the core of I will teach you to be rich, the entire blueprint comes down to 6 key steps. 1. Credit cards. Use them wisely, pay them in full, and build your credit score. 2. Banking. Get a high-interest savings account to optimize your cash. 3. Automation. Set up your money to flow automatically into your savings, investments, and expenses the moment you get paid. 4. Investing. Use diversified, low-cost index funds and target date funds and set it and forget it. 5. Big wins. Focus on maximizing your salary and optimizing major recurring expenses like housing and fees. And 6. Conscious spending. Design a plan that allows you to spend lavishly on the things you love by cutting ruthlessly on the things you don't. This isn't just a book about personal finance. It's a permission slip to stop feeling guilty, to start taking action, and to build a genuinely rich life on your own terms. If you found value in this deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hitting that notification bell ensures you don't miss our next breakdown on building a rich life.